In the shopping center, shows John Belushi sitting in a seat dressed as Santa Claus. Shows Gilda Radner and Phil Hartman as kindergarten-aged twins approach Belushi and sit on his lap. Belushi: "Ho, ho, ho, and what do you two want for Christmas?" Radner: "Santa, I would like for you to stop the genocide that is occurring against the Palestinians." Hartman: "And I, Santa, would like for you to stop the calls for genocide against the Jewish people." Belushi: "Ho, ho, ho, well..." Radner: "I would also like for Donald Trump to be removed from the ballot in all 50 states based on his being a threat to democracy." Hartman: "And I would like for President Joe Biden to step down from office because of his very clear case of dementia." Belushi: "Ho, ho, ho, well, you see, kids." Radner: "I would also like for Roe v. Wade to be codified into law to ensure the right to choose is protected." Hartman: "And I would like abortion to be banned throughout the Union so as to protect the right to life." Belushi: "Ho, ho, ho, well, kids, you've given Santa a lot to think about." Radner: "I also want all the immigrants who've come over recently to be granted asylum and the right to vote." Hartman: "And I want them to secure the border immediately and send home the illegals." Belushi: "How about some bikes or something?" Radner: "I want the Second Amendment abolished and for guns to be outlawed." Hartman: "And I want the Second Amendment protected and for people to be encouraged to harm themselves." Belushi: "Don't you two see that I can't make you both happy?" Radner: "I want Congress to ensure that Ukraine wins its war against Russia and that we continue to fund them no matter what." Hartman: "I just want that stupid war to end and to stop giving our tax dollars overseas when we still have problems at home." Belushi: "Okay, you two, your time's about up." Radner: "I want vaccines to be mandatory." Hartman: "I want them abolished." Radner: "I want the world to be carbon neutral by the end of this decade." Hartman: "I want them to drill, baby, drill." Radner: "I want everyone to agree that Black Lives Matter." Hartman: "I want everyone to agree that all lives matter." Radner: "I want the rights of members of LGBTQ to be respected." Hartman: "I don't want to have to tell everyone my pronouns for the rest of my life." Belushi: "Okay, I'll see what I can do. Off you go now." Radner: "Wait a second, which one of us are you going to grant our Christmas wishes to?" Hartman: "Yeah, my sister on your left knee or me on your right?" Belushi: "Well, gee, I'll have to think about it." Radner: "Think about it? Come to think of it, I forgot to mention that I want more diversity, equity, and inclusion in all walks of life, including Santa Claus." Hartman: "I think a white male Santa is just fine." Belushi: "Thanks, kid." Radner: "Absolutely not." Shows Denitra Vance walking by dressed as one of Santa's elves. Radner: "Excuse me, ma'am." Vance: "Yes?" Radner: "Do you happen to be a lesbian?" Vance: "Why, yes, I am, but you're a little too young for me." Radner: "No, that's not why I'm asking. I think you, as a woman who is of color and part of the LGBTQ community, are more representative of the diversity, equity, and inclusion principles that I would prefer in my Santa." Vance: "Okay, I like the sound of that." Belushi: "Well, I was on the fence between you two, but if I'm not good enough for the left to be Santa anymore, I guess I'm forced to go with the boy here." Hartman: "Oh boy, thanks, Santa. How are you going to make all my right-wing dreams come true?" Belushi: "I don't know, kid. I'm just a drunk who works in a junkyard. I'm not really Santa. I just do this for a few extra bucks. But do you really want to outlaw abortion?" Hartman: "Of course." Belushi: "Well, then no wonder there's a black female lesbian Santa now." Radner gets off Belushi's lap and heads towards Vance. Vance: "All right, show's over, Santa." Belushi knocks Hartman off his lap, takes off his Santa suit, and gives it to Vance. Belushi: "If anyone's looking for me, I'll be at the bar across the street." Vance puts on the Santa costume and sits in the seat. Radner sits in Vance's lap and says, "Wow, this is so much better. Progress has finally arrived for the holidays." Vance: "The progress would be even better if not for your white privilege making you so damn heavy. And dead from the earth, we're not alive." Saturday Night Alive, starring John Belushi, Chris Farley, Phil Hartman, Jan Hooks, Norm MacDonald, Gilda Radner, Danitra Vance, and with many other special deceased contributors. Musical guest, Bobby Osborne, and your host, Andrew Jackson. Everybody, Andrew Jackson. Applause, applause, applause. Shows Jackson on stage who says, "Thank you, thank you. I was an American lawyer, planter, general, and statesman who served as the 7th President of the United States from 1829 to 1837. Applause, applause, applause. Jackson. Before my presidency, I gained fame as a general in the U.S. Army and served in both houses of the United States Congress. I have often been praised as an advocate for ordinary Americans and for my work in preserving the Union of States." Shows Jan Hooks in the audience who stands up and yells, "Yeah, you were also a racist." Jackson. "Excuse me?" Hooks. "You owned hundreds of slaves on your plantation, and you caused an ethnic cleansing with the Indian Removal Act, which displaced tens of thousands of Native Americans from their ancestral homelands east of the Mississippi and resulted in thousands of deaths." Jackson. "Well, miss, thanks for making your opinion known." Hooks. "You shouldn't even be allowed to host a show with that kind of awful track record." Joe King comes out on stage and says, "I'm sorry about this, old Hickory. Sometimes the audience gets out of hand. What's your problem, miss?" Hooks. "My problem is that this despicable show is allowing a slave owner and ethnic cleanser to host." King. "Listen, lady, this show respects American history, and every 25 episodes we try to have on a founding father or former president to serve as host." Hooks. "Well, you shouldn't have on ones that are so incredibly racist." King. "Oh yeah? What if I told you he's the founder of the Democratic Party?" Hooks. "Well, King. Exactly, bitch. You don't know what to say." Jackson. "Let me just say." King. "No, I got it, Andy." Jackson. "It's President Jackson to you. Anyway, I was a product of my time, and I apologize for having slaves, and for any ethnic cleansing that occurred during my presidency. I was far from perfect. I was just doing what I thought was best for the country at the time, and I'm proud that the party I founded, the Democratic Party, has gone on to help champion the cause of making America a more free and inclusive country for everybody." Applause, applause, applause. King. "Well, you're definitely a politician." Jackson. "Beat it, King, before I start a trail of tears running down your face." As King exits the stage, Jackson says, "We have a great show tonight. Bobby Osborne is here, so get ready for Rocky Top. We'll be right back."